I just got fired. I got fired when I'm really close to the killer. This is not good. Commander Yao will visit the Justice Department to gather all the evidence you've collected. Oh, I've got it right here in my pockets. I can just give it to you. I mean, wait, I don't understand. I'm closing in on him. If I back off now, the trail will be lost. No, in the morning you'll forget this case ever existed. You will not speak of it, and you will certainly not make any further inquiries into the matter. Is that understood? How? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Does your majesty expect this loyal servant to ignore his own duties? There must be a reason. Tread carefully, Dai Renjai. Whoa. Those women will not be forgotten. How dare you question my authority? You will do as I say or face the consequences. As for my safety, you clearly have nothing to fear. Now go before I change my mind. Yes, Your Empress. Wow, poor Dai Renjai. Fired. Yeah, this is not good. This is very, very bad. Is that the end of chapter number 2? Chapter 3 of Sinners and Saviors. Okay, so this is probably going to be the final chapter. Like I said, there's only 4 investigation boards that you solve according to the achievements. So I've solved 3 of them. Let's solve the 4th. I still can't believe what happened last night. Why would the Empress end my involvement in the case? And how could she brush aside my warnings like that? By now, her men will have seized all the evidence we've collected on the case, but I can't give up now. I have to see this through to the end. Oh man, can I use my journal, write things down in my journal? Does she have my notes? Yeah, I hope she got those notes left by the killer, because that would be helpful. Helpful to her, I suppose. Is there something on the windows? Oh, no, that's just the window. Yeah, and what about all the stuff we found yesterday that you know, Liu Zelen was using to blackmail people? I think that would be important. Maybe. Gosh, I just don't understand. Why would she fire me? Magistrate Dai, there you are. Have you heard? Heard what? The Empress sent over Imperial guards in the middle of the night to confiscate all the evidence we had on the 3 unsolved murders. The notes, the roses, even the bodies. They took everything in order to stand down. Why is Her Majesty doing this? Knowingly or unknowingly, it seems the Empress is somehow connected to all this. We need to find out how. But our orders... We're supposed to stop the investigation. But there's too much at stake. I can't stop now. There's too much at stake. I'll perform my duties and face the consequences. Come what may, justice will prevail. I'm with you, Magistrate Dai. You're a good man, Lieutenant Ma. I'm grateful to have you on my side, but we'll need to work discreetly. Of course, sir, you can rely on me. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. When the Imperial guards came to take the evidence, they sort of left something behind. Or to be more accurate, I kept something from them. What do you mean? You see, when we finished gathering all the evidence on the flower boat last night, I had the sudden urge to make copies of the killer's unknown markings. You mean the pair of strange symbols on each of the notes he left behind? Yes, exactly. At first I wasn't sure why, but those symbols somehow seemed familiar. Then it occurred to me. When I was a boy, my grandmother once showed me a poem that she'd written as a young woman. As she read it to me, I stared at the wrinkled piece of paper in her hands with a confused expression. The characters I saw were nothing like those I'd learned in school. My grandmother passed away that winter. Regrettably, I never had a chance to ask her about the origin of those mysterious symbols, nor did I ever see that poem again. I know this may sound strange, but the symbols on the killer's notes, they remind me of the symbols of my grandmother's poem. Here, you can have the copies I made. Okay, that's very interesting. So, about the case. What are your thoughts on the case? I'm at a loss, sir. On the one hand, we are tasked to apprehend a savage killer, on the other, we're subservient to the whims of the Imperial Court. Where's the line that separates loyalty and blind servitude? How can we walk it and still serve the cause of justice? With great power comes great responsibility. I mean, those in a position of power like you and me must treat that power with respect. It's our responsibility to wield whatever authority we have with care and diligence. If we can do this, then we may accomplish a great many things. Thank you, Magistrate Dai. Very inspiring. For a moment there, I thought life as a lowly official in the countryside may have suited me better, but now you've given me a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. You're a great boss. So what about your grandmother? Was she from another country, and maybe that's why these characters seem different? My grandmother grew up in a rural town in the province of Jiangnan. Although she endured a hard country life, she always had a delightful sense of humor that could light up a room. And despite her rural upbringing, she was able to write poetry. I suppose that's a bit strange, isn't it? I would never really question it, but I suppose she must have picked up some language skills as an adult. She's a very smart woman. I wouldn't be surprised if she learned to read and write on her own. One of the victims was able to read and write on her own, too. Let's take a look at these symbols. Lieutenant Ma carefully copied down the killer's mysterious markings. Based on a story about the grandmother's poem, these could be characters that belong to a larger writing system, perhaps one lost to time, or created in secret. I need to do some secret. I need to do research. I need to pay a visit to the Imperial Library. So is there anything in lockup? I need to go down there now. Yeah, I guess the Imperial Library is the only place I can go. Officer's still busy working, right? Let's see, can I go to the morgue, or is there no reason to go down there now? Okay, hey, Coroner Mao. Sorry you've had such a busy couple of days. He looks restless. Coroner Mao, you wanted a word with me? You're damn right we're going to have a word. In all my years of this job, I've not once had my dead subjects removed from my care. What did you do to incite such fury from the Empress? I only did my job. Well, either you are really bad or really good at it, because I've never seen anything like this. Such a mess. It's all such a big, awful mess. Coroner Mao, is something else bothering you? You seem troubled. 2 years. For 2 years she cast me aside. Then last night she suddenly reappears. For a fleeting moment I thought everything was going to be alright, but I was foolish. She could never forgive me. No matter, I'm fine. I'm doing just fine. The case, that's all that matters now. Tell me, Dairenjai, will you continue to investigate this case, or would you rather cower in obscurity? I think you and I have more in common than you think. As long as I'm an investigating magistrate, I will continue to seek justice for those in need. I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, how can I help you? So his daughter came back last night. Is that it? Who did you encounter last night? That's none of your business. Was it your daughter? Your daughter came back. It sounds like the fight continued rather than you resolving it. That's tragic. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just getting sad now. What are your thoughts on the case? You have my full support, whatever you choose to do. I'm a has-been and never was. They can't hurt me. And remember, be careful who you choose as your enemy. This town's not for the faint of heart. And it doesn't take a genius to know that something fishy is going on, but perhaps you're just the right man to find out what that something is. It's my privilege to have you as an ally, Coroner Mao. Were you able to conduct full autopsies on the 2 victims last night? I certainly did, but alas, my findings only confirmed what we already knew. Shai Wenyan was killed in the same manner as Zhu Linfei, while Yan Kui tried to fight off her assailant. However, I did find something else. Yeah, this is sort of tingled up in Yan Kui's hair. It's a flower petal of some sort. I didn't think Her Majesty would mind us keeping such a small, insignificant item. Wink. Rose petal. Must have fallen off the rose that the killer left behind. The roses that don't die, even after a long period of time. Certainly looks like it, but there's more. Take a closer look at it. Can you see or rather feel something different about it? You're right. Despite its appearance, it doesn't feel like the flesh of a real rose petal. Why didn't I notice it before? The stems must have been real, but the petals are fake, so that's why they stayed in perfect condition. The petals are man-made. If you, like everyone else, were holding the stems to inspect those roses, you would have missed it. Yes, of course. This material resembles silk. The Silk Rose Murders. Now the name of the game makes sense. But it's firm and soft at the same time. I've never seen silk like this before. Neither have I, but I may know someone who has. In the Central Market, there's a silk merchant named Geng Yuan. No one knows more about silk than he does. You should pay him a visit. So we've got 2 jobs. We're going to try to figure out where the silk comes from and, go to the Imperial Library. I want to take a closer look at this. Because weren't there symbols on the one rose? The one rose looked different from the others, and maybe that's super important. Okay, so maybe... Yeah... So here's my hypothesis, I'm just going off the top of my head. Maybe this is a special type of silk made in a special area. It's only made in this one particular area, and that area has a different language, a different writing system. So once we figure out what area the silk comes from, we'll know what kind of writing to look up in order to decipher those mysterious messages. That's my theory, so I'm going to go to the central market first.